Okay. Can we just talk about how hard it is to get a job right now?
I really feel like I'm never gonna get a job again. Like, I'm so scared because, like, I have been unemployed for 3 months.
Have you ever gotten quietly fired? Because I did.
Being unemployed is so tough because I'm at a point right now where I just am like, I can't wait for the days where I don't have to think about my situation anymore.
So as you can see by the title of the video is just going to be about the struggles of Gen Z being able to get a job. Gen Z is seen as infantile, and I can see where a lot of people are coming from. But we also understand that the systems that are in place for us right now are not going to lead to financial freedom in the future because we're seeing how much not only our parents are struggling, but the rest of millennials are struggling. The society that we live in today is 3 to 6 times more expensive than it was in the 80s, in the 90s. It's a lot harder now, even though we have better education, we have more opportunities, more government help, and all these things that you would think would make us a better society. But if anything, it has crippled us and has diminished our ability to be able to prosper. So let's just dive right. So this is what ChatGPT has to say. If you're not using ChatGPT in your day-to-day life, just understand that these companies, indeed, Microsoft, Intel, Meta, all these companies are trying to implement AI into their day-to-day companies, and they're laying off an insane amount of people. So this is the power of AI and its capabilities. And I've even used AI to code a couple things. And as you can see right here, I asked AI all the layoffs from May to now and break it down in categories and which companies. It took a couple seconds. Look, it pulls from 25 sources. Here's a breakdown of all the major layoffs from May to mid-July 2025. So you guys know it's going to be this year. And look, tech and IT, these are the main jobs that are going to be taken and overran by AI. But you got to understand that the reason why this is so detrimental to the future of Gen Z is because imagine when they build robots and make them more sophisticated and give them AI machine learning capabilities to be able to understand the world around them. And just look at Indeed. This is why people are not able to get jobs. 1,300 jobs cut in July. In July. And to put AI into their their system, to their software, Microsoft, same thing. 15,000 layoffs, 7,000 in May and 9,000 in July. And obviously, we know what's going on with Microsoft. They're discontinuing the Xbox, and they're not investing into the console side of things. I mean, PCs pretty much took over. Let's be honest. PS5 was really successful. We remember how much people fought for the PS5s. There is a video I watched on Caleb Hammer. Shout out Caleb Hammer. He was interviewing this girl that took out a payday loan of $500 to be able to purchase a PS5 with I think, a 900% interest rate on it. So literally by the next month, it was at $4,500 that she owed. She paid $4,500. Let's be honest, she's gonna go bankrupt. She's not gonna pay none of this back. But for the most part, Intel, thousands of jobs eliminated, 440 in the Bay Area. So this is in California. Somewhere around 1,000 right here, 2,300 in Oregon, and then on top of that, in the facilities within Oregon at Intel, another 530 employees laid off. Think about how this is gonna affect us in the future because a lot of people are getting laid off because of AI. AI is not to blame. The blame that we should put on is these corporations, these companies wanting to cut corners, cut costs, and everything. And the biggest cost for most companies is their workforce, the working class, and all this demand. They demand for the companies to pay them back. We, as people, need to understand that we're a society of people, and without us, without the working class, without the people in poverty, the people, the CEOs, the people that live in luxury and rich cannot have the positions that they are in. We give them that. And that's the thing about the working class is that the more they keep us separated, the more they're going to be able to live that lifestyle. So they want us to be fighting with amongst one another. They want us to have different ideologies, different beliefs, and everything, and not to get along so they can stay in power. And this is insane because a lot of people live off of these companies. A lot of people put food on their table for their families, for their kids, for their future generations to come. So as you can see, there's so many layoffs going down right now. Even in the federal government, with Trump's new administration, they want to cut the Department of Education and eliminate thousands of jobs. And we don't even understand the repercussions of that because we're not going to see them until we live it, truly. We're going to be affected tremendously. It's just spiraling out of control. But let's get right back into the video so you guys can kind
I started in this building as a contractor, and I know a lot of you guys want story time as to the last video. Listen, I don't want to leave. I like my job here. I'm gonna miss my friends. I've said goodbye to everybody today. This is officially my last day at Microsoft. Some buildings I used to work at, and saying goodbye to people, but this is where it started. This is where it's gonna end. I do want to say, I know a lot of people think I have ill will or I'm angry. I'm just sad. I like working for Microsoft. I get it's a big corporation. They can only do what they can do. But I want to thank them for all they've done for me over the years. I really have enjoyed working here, and I'm going to miss it an awful lot. So everybody that has all those weird comments in the last one, they really are a good company.
as some people probably have good experiences at these companies, but let's be real. These Microsoft laid them off. They didn't give a shit. They probably didn't even give them severance pay, whatever. They probably give them a good amount of benefits, but they said, screw it. We don't need you. Goodbye. We're not gonna find somewhere else, even though you've been loyal to the company for the past 12 years. We're not gonna find somewhere else to put you. We know you have a livelihood. We know you have family that you need to take care of, and we're just going to kick you to the curb and good luck finding a job in today's job market. With the unemployment rate, people do not seem to comprehend whenever they say the unemployment rate is at 4%. Realistically, it's at 4%, right? The people that are not actively applying for jobs and the people that are not on DoorDash, the people that are probably most likely on the streets, if you're actively applying, if you're on DoorDash, Uber Eats, whatever, you're not considered into that statistic. If you're not considered into that statistic, you need to understand that the unemployment rate is much, much higher, dude. You don't understand how many people are in college, they get out of college, and they don't even work a job that correlates with their degree whatsoever. It didn't even help them get their degree. I think it's around 70%, and that's for engineers because I want to be an engineer. An engineer can go and they have a 30% chance of getting a job within their field. Think about how hard engineering is, and they have a 30% chance of being successful. If so many people went into college and understood that they would have a 20 to 30% chance of getting a job in their field that they're passionate about, oh, I promise you, colleges would lose so much money. This is the reason why they don't give you those statistics because they don't want to lose money. It's a company, it's a business, and regardless, companies like Microsoft that a lot of people that graduate from college want to get into will do this 10, 12, 15 years from now. They don't give a shit about you guys. They don't give a shit about us. And it's true.
Can someone please tell me why it's so hard to find a normal 9 to 5 job in 2024? Can somebody please tell me that? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I used to work at Chick-fil-A last year, right? I worked there from October to probably, I'm gonna say around April or something like that. And then basically I got fired for a reason I'm not gonna talk about. And then I'm thinking that, hey, this is just a little time to just decide what I want to do in life because that was my senior year of high school. Now I graduated. Now I'm just trying to find me a new job. Tell me why I went on Indeed, put in so many applications, and did not get a single job, not a single one. I'm talking about I applied at Starbucks, I applied at Wendy's, I applied at Car Wash, I applied at Subway, McDonald's. The list goes on. I applied at almost every fast food place that you could ever think of. And I did not get a call back from any last one of them. Okay. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I got an email back from Starbucks saying that they're full, they're not hiring, but come on, bro. And I'm saying it'd be the restaurants and businesses that be having saying that the word hire sign out front of their store, out front of their business, be the main ones not calling back. I mean, if y'all are putting up the word hiring sign, ain't the whole point of that is to accept applications or at least give emails or calls back? I'm gonna just tell y'all that trying to find a job in 2024 is not for the weak, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now.
Yeah, the reality is it is not for the weak. Man, it's so hard to get a job, man. I have 200 job applications out right now. I stopped applying since April. I'm pretty sure if I kept applying, I would find me a minimum wage job, but the fact that I had to put in 200 job applications to get a chance to get an interview, let alone a job, is insane. I've done the walk-in, turn in your resume. I've done all of it. I've set up interviews for myself, and I still didn't get a job for around 6 months. I went 6 months unemployed, and that's why I took myself back to school. And telling you guys now, the previous statistic about 30% of engineers get a job in their field is true. And yes, it does give me anxiety about the future, but realistically, I'd rather do this than do nothing at all. And this is how a lot of kids our age, a lot of 18 to 25-year-olds are living their day-to-day lives. And hopefully you guys are not in debt. I mean, that makes it a lot worse. But you got to keep your job. Don't leave your job. Don't job hop. I mean, job hopping isn't a thing anymore. A lot of people are not able to get jobs. And that guy, he got fired from Chick-fil-A. I don't know how bad their turnover rate is. I'm pretty sure it's pretty low. He probably got fired and he doesn't want to mention why. But yes, people are getting fired. People are getting laid off. People cannot find jobs. It sucks. Our market, our job market is one of the worst markets in existence. Compare it to 1893 when their unemployment rate was at 20 to 25% and they protested the monopolies that were in power. We are going to get to that point where we need to protest these big corporations that don't pay us right, don't pay us enough to cover the cost of living, and keep all the money to themselves.
Employment, especially extended unemployment, whether you were impacted by layoffs or you were fired or whatever it may be. The hardest part is continuing to have the energy to show up for yourself in an environment, in a job market where the narrative is constantly telling you that you spending all this energy showing up for yourself is not adding up to anything. It's not working. And I can't tell you like how much energy it takes for me mentally every day to be doing the same thing over and over again, to constantly like be getting my hopes up and then not getting the job, or getting ghosted, or spending all this time doing these take-home assignments and then not hearing back or whatever. It is such an exhausting job market, but I don't have a choice. I have to continue to wake up. I have to take care of myself, or to the best of my ability. I have to go through all these motions day in and day out. I have to constantly change my approach because maybe I'm not doing things right. Maybe everything they're telling me to do is not what I'm supposed to be doing, and maybe I should switch it up because whatever they've been telling me to do, it's not. It's been months and I still haven't landed anything. So I have to change my approach. That constant code switching, that constant like need to feel like you're not doing it right because this job market is terrible and it's just constantly like hitting at your ego. That is what is so fucking hard about unemployment. You are just constantly putting in so much effort every day, not only to job search, but just to function as a human being.
And this is the truth. I mean, it's very hard to take a hit on that ego that tells you you're not doing anything. You're not showing up anywhere. You're not getting paid. It sucks. You don't pay. You can't live properly. You can't go out to eat. You can't give yourself the luxury of life. You can't no wants. You can't have any wants. You can't afford it. You can barely afford to feed yourself. I've been penny pinching for the past 3 to 4 years of my life, and it's been very difficult to be able to go out and explore the world however much I want to, because life is hard. It's hard to get a job. It's hard, even when you do have a job, to stay committed to the job. Because, yeah, you might be getting paid 17, 18, $19 an hour, but that only equates to like $1,800 to $1,900 a month. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, depending on overtime, whatever. But for the most part, I mean, you're getting paid pennies on the dollar, barely making dead ends meet, and you can't afford the luxuries of life to carry the company of some dude that gets to buy a yacht that's 300 and something $1 million. And it's insane that they could spend all this money, millions upon millions of dollars, on luxury items, but yet they can't pay their employees and they look to cut corners on their employees with the implementation of free software such as AI. Think about that, guys. I mean, it's pretty sad to see the state of world that we're in currently. And this is a human being, like you guys. need to have some sympathy, I guess, for these people. I mean, if they're getting themselves in insane amount of debts and just consuming, it is a different story. But for the most part, some people struggle because of the society we have today. It's very hard to prosper in this society. And this is why I'm starting this YouTube channel because I'm tired of not having money in my bank account. I mean, I'm not broke by any means. I don't have any debt or any responsibilities like kids or anything like that. But it is very hard to be able to thrive in an economy that's constantly pushing you down, kicking you while you're down, and you try to climb up and try to be a better and more responsible, ethical person to make this money. And you apply, you show up and you show up for yourself every day. Like she said, she struggles to show up for herself every day because it is very detrimental on your mental health to not have a circadian rhythm. It's very detrimental on your brain to not have a routine, to not have something that wakes you up, forces you to get out of bed and go accomplish something for society. It's very purposeless and it sucks and it does not feel good for your mental health. It might feel good for a week or two because it feels like vacation, but then that dread and that reality really kicks in, and you're wondering, am I just a dog chasing my tail? Let's move on to the next video.
Applied to over 300 jobs. Who has a job right now? It kind of sucks because the school's expensive. I'm an econ major. I have a 3.7 GPA, and I cannot get a full-time job. The only reason I'm not broke is because I've saved up working on campus and then also doing class action settlements on claim. Basically, brands pay you out. So I made like 8K doing that so far. Definitely recommend. It's passive income. But if I didn't have that, I would literally be broke. I cannot get a job. I don't know, I might be cooked. What do I do?
So yeah, that's the reality of the situation that this guy goes to Cornell, which is an Ivy League school with a 3.7 GPA, and he still can't find a job. And he's an econ major, so he's in economics. And yeah, it's the competition's insanely difficult, and you need to be like a trust fund baby to be able to get into that. So his major's not the greatest. I mean, the competition's just extraordinarily high to be able to get into that. If you don't have connections, you're not going to get in. But still, to reiterate, he goes to an Ivy League school, in a very expensive school, very hard to get into, and he has a good GPA. It's not like it's a bad GPA. And from what I read, your GPA doesn't really matter whenever you're applying to jobs. It's kind of what you accomplish in college. But as you can see, most of the money he's made is through college. Imagine going to college and meanwhile you're there, you're working for the college. You're like, isn't the whole point for me to get a job outside of here, not to stay stuck here? And that's a sad reality because what your goals are whenever you go to college is to get out of college to become successful in your day-to-day life. And it's just like a never-ending cycle of students wanting to escape and wanting to become successful, because who doesn't want to be successful? Who doesn't want to be financially free? Everybody does. And it's just such a difficult and almost near impossible task in today's market. We need some economic collapse so we can reset it. We need someone to come in here. Uh, Honestly, a lot of people voted for Donald Trump, and as we can see right now, it's not looking too bright, and it's just a very tough and very difficult market to get into. But for the most part, guys, if you guys like the video, go ahead and drop me a like. If you want to keep on seeing more content like this, drop a comment down below in the comments. And if you wanna keep yourself updated with the videos that I'm gonna be constantly posting now, go ahead and drop me a follow. And yeah, see you guys on the next video. Thank you.